Welcome back on an exciting video. Today we are on classes of programming with C++. And the objective for today is what? Learn concept of classes, learn about access control, constructor and the destructor, member function and attributes, static members, memory allocation, and member initialization. So what is class in programming? A class is a user-defined type, data type that we can use in our programs, and it works as an object constructor or a blueprint for creating objects. Attributes and method are basically variables and functions that belongs to the class. These are often referred to as class members. So this is the class definition. You are defining a class. You start with what? The class, then the class name. So you begin with what? The keyword class followed by the class name, and this is the structure for it. Your class name, the class, then you bring out your class name. Let's say example program, and you write your attributes, your specifiers, access specifier, then method, etc. And this is the code for it. Your class and your class name, which is my record, whereby you bring your public, then you write your access specifier, int my age, write your attributes, the string name, my name, attributes in strings, and get age. That's the method for it. Then when closing the curly brace, when you close it, you bring what? You indicate what? Your termination mark, which is what? The semicolon. The class keyword is used to create my record. The class keyword, it is used to create my record. The public keyword is an access specifier. Yes, with the public keyword is an access specifier, which specifies that members in brackets, attributes and methods of the class are accessible for outside the class. So with the public, it can be accessed outside the class, but as time goes on, we will learn about the private. So inside the class, there is an integer variable, my age, and a string variable, my name. When variables are declared within a class, they are called what? Attributes. When variables are declared within a class, they are called attributes. At last, end the class definition with what? A semicolon. That's what I said. So you should end the class with what? A semicolon. You are ending the expression with what? A semicolon. And component of a class. A class contains attributes and method known as what? Members. And the attributes are what? The properties. Refers to the declaration in a class that stores data. So the declaration of, let's say, int age is equal to what? Int age, then you terminate what? You are declaring what? Age. So it refers to the declaration of what? Declaration in the class that stores data. And the method, also functions, refers to what? The definition in the class that are used to what? Manipulate the attributes or properties. So we move to class method. Method of function that belongs to what? The class. There are two ways to define functions that belongs to a class: inside class definition and outside class definition. And with the inside class definition, this is the code for it. So with that one, we use what? Public. And this is the code for it. We use public. And we use what? Inside the public, we have the void get age. Then you see out this dash. Then you bring your greater my age. and this is also used to see out the age, the get age. And this is the outside one, whereby you write your code, then you bring void my record get age outside outside the class my record. Then you see out the same thing as we did, then also you close it. Class method, we are talking about the parameters. Parameters act as placeholder for the data to be accepted by a function. In classes, method can be provided parameters for arguments to be accepted when calling the methods. Parameters in class method, this is the code for parameter in class method. So there's it. But it was almost the same as as the inside. Yes, as the inside inside class method. But with this, the void gets age, you write a string inside that parenthesis, whereby when you see out that you get that thing, you get you get your string name over there. So this is how it looks. This is for argument in class. My record wonder, see out wonder dot get age Kofi end line. So now let's move to class constructor. A constructor is a special method to automatically call when an object of a class is created. And to create a constructor, you use the same name as the class, followed by the parentheses. And these are the rules for class constructor. The constructor has the same name as the class, and it has no return type, not even void. It is usually declared public, and it is automatically called when an object is created. And there is the code for a class constructor. So now let's move to class destructor. It's a special method that is automatically called when an object is destroyed or ended. But with the constructor, it is automatically called when an object is created, but with the destructor, when an object is destroyed or ended. It deallocates all memory used for the creation. To create a destructor, use the tag followed by the same name as the class, then the parentheses. And this is how it looks. You use the tag my record, then bring your parentheses, then you write you see out allocation released. So now let's move to class access specifiers. Access specifiers are written they are written in a class. So access specifiers, also known as access modifiers, controls how the members attributes and methods of a class can be what accessed, and they help protect data and organize code so that only the right parts can be seen or changed. Class access specifiers. There are 3 access specifiers. We have the public, private, and protected. That's the what access specifiers. Members. So we'll start with what the public access specifier. Members declared as public can be accessed from outside the class. So when a member is public, you can access it outside the class, and you need to specify that a member of a class should be public in order to access it outside the class. And declare a public attribute in my record class. So this is how the class access specifier with the public looks like. Class my record public, then your colon my age. This is how it looks like. And with the private, members declared are private cannot access from outside the class. By default, all members of a class are private if you don't specify an access specifier. And this is how it is. Public int age, then you bring your private, then you write your string, my name, your string, then you bring it will follow with your methods and others. And with the protected, members declared as protected cannot be accessed from outside the class, but they can be accessed in child classes. Classes access specifiers with the protected. This is how it looks. Protected in my birth year. Int my birth year. So move to class, which is this pointers. In this pointer is a pointer that points to the current instance of a class. It is used within the member function of a class to refer to the object of that class, and it also allows access to the calling object data and methods. And this is the code for this pointer. Object. An object is an instance of a class created from a class. To create an object of a class, specify the class name followed by the object name. So this is the syntax for it. My record, then you write Jemima. And multiple objects. Multiple objects can be created from a class. Class provides the blueprint to creating the multiple objects, and this is the syntax for it, and it's almost it's the same as the same as the objects, but with this there are 2 names, Julia and Jemima. That's for multiple objects. And access class members. Let's move to access class members. Class members can be accessed when objects of the classes are created using the dot operator and assigned name to it. So this is how it is. my record for the object member, my record Jemima dot get age, Jemima dot get name. Modifying class members or the attributes of modifying a class member. Class members that are public attributes can be modified using assignment operator, which is equal to sign, the equal to sign. And class members, which is static members of a class can be declared as static. Static members are not associated with objects of a class but what class itself, and can be accessed directly through the class without creating objects. Both attributes and method can be what static members. Class my record public, then static string my date of birth. Classes of object-oriented program. Object-oriented program is about creating objects which can hold data and function that work on that data. And classes are used to implement object-oriented concepts such as encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. So we start what? Inheritance. Inheritance allows class to reuse attributes and method from another class, and it helps you to write cleaner, more efficient code by avoiding duplications. Types of inheritance. You have a derived class, which is child, base class, parent. A child class is a class that inherits from another class, which the other class is what? The parent. And a parent class being inherited from by the derived class, which is what? The child. Encapsulation ensures that sensitive data are hidden from users. The use of private access specifier is classes help achieve encapsulation. So with the encapsulation, we use what? The private access specifier to what? To ensure sensitive data hidden, or sensitive data not being accessed outside what? It. The use of set and get allows read and modification of private members. The use of friend functions allow direct access. Polymorphism. And with the polymorphism, this is the last type of what? The last type of what? Classes in object-oriented program. Polymorphism means many forms, and it occurs when we have many classes that are related to each other by inheritance, and it uses method inherited from another classes to perform different tasks. So this brings us to the end of our lesson. Thank you. Do well to subscribe to this channel for for such Charlie make a stop why emfa